Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel, a knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
On another level.
What's going on? I am 2014 Hall of Famer Lita, and you are watching Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor.
I be on another level.
What's going on, boys and girls? My name is Killer Cross, the People's Executioner, the RPW World Heavyweight Champion, the MLW World Heavyweight Champion, and the ACW World Heavyweight Champion, and the World Heavyweight Champion of Horror Hound Convention. I have all the championships. I got a problem. I need them all. This is Pokemon, all right? Gotta catch them all! You are watching Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor Podcast. Tick-tock.
Notorious, we notorious, yeah we notorious, yeah we some warriors, out here feeling glorious, yeah we notorious.
Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit cause I got my own now. I get home and I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything I'ma have to bring the whole city out. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit cause I got my own now. I get home and I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
I be on another level.
Hello, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and you are tuned into Turnbuckles and Spilled Liquor Podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Man, you know that I'm the jet, homie. What you expect? I'm the man, it's nothing less. Man, you know that boy is next. I don't live with no regrets. Get the money, cut the check. Got the muscle, bet the flex. Got my move on overstep, now hold the flex. I got the money in the cash. Get the jet on overlast. You know overcast, I'm fly. Available, money so relatable. Get it in the day or two. Let me just explain to you. Slide than the rest of them. Jetting standing next to them. The future cut the check for them. Steady calls a rep for them. Fly than the rest of them. Jetting standing next to them. The future cut the check for them. Steady calls a rep for them. Taking off the jet. The vision is coming for next check. Taking off the jet. You headed to talk from the
Maybach music.
Can anybody out there hear me? Hear me? 'Cause I just wanna
Get ready! Woo! We are on tour and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on Spilt liquor.
Yeah, every bar's holy, straight divinity. Great stability with ancient wizardry. God ghost writing on the page after I prayed, he visits me. My frame is spiritually plateauing when angels lifted me.
Welcome to Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor Podcast. I'm your host, Lito, with my co-host, Sinista1. Tonight we got a special guest, y'all. Mr. Wade Simmons. How you doing, bro?
And I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good, bro. Before we start and, get into, exactly everything that you do, bro, because you do a bunch of things. Just wanted to check on everybody, 1 to 10, where you at tonight with your mental wellness. Sinister, you can start off first.
I'm a little tired. I'm about an 8, but it's mainly because I'm tired. We got some snow this morning, and I'm tired of snow up here in New England. So I'm an 8. I was almost a 7. I was almost a 7 because of the snow, but it didn't accumulate to nothing, so I'm good.
Well, 8's good. And what about you?
I would say I'm probably about an 8. Doing all right, just kind of in the process of kind of moving, so I got a lot of stuff that I kind of got to take care of, but I'm doing pretty good. Like here in Chicago, the weather was it was okay today actually, but I'm kind of ready to go back to California a little bit, though, to be honest with you.
So you stay in Chicago or you live in California?
So both places. So I'm from Chicago, but I'm in the process of also relocating to California, but I'm going to be living in both places. So I've been taking care, like getting my certifications for the funeral business on that end. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of things, man.
Right. So you said the funeral business. So, okay. So you are a mortician / filmmaker / indie wrestler. How did that happen?
Well, so put it like this. Everything that I'm doing, I've always wanted to do. As a child, I knew that I wanted to be a funeral director and a filmmaker. So I'll start with the funeral directing. So I went to a lot of funerals as a child, had like kind of like, I don't like to say a near-death experience, but I had like, kind of spiritual experience where like I saw that like God was real and the angels and stuff were real. So it kind of interested me in the business. And so, as a child, I'm like, I want to be a funeral director and I want to be a filmmaker. So when I got to high school, I was in art club, I wrestled. And when I got to my senior year, my teacher like, well, what y'all want to do? So I'm like, well, I want to be a filmmaker, but everybody wants to be an entertainer, right? So, I decided to go to school to be a mortician. So it took me a little while to get there, but I eventually went to school for it. And then right after graduating mortuary school, I ended up going to film school. Right after I graduated film school, I ended up training for professional wrestling. So that's kind of what started me doing all of it.
Bro, I seen way too many horror movies for me to even get into that, even to think about that, even to go to school for that profession.
Yeah, for real. I had a couple family members that lived in they lived in a home. They ended up moving into a home that had a funeral parlor in the basement, and they didn't know. And they had some trippy stuff going on in there. They had to move out, bro.
I understand. Yeah, I actually used to work overnights at the funeral home.
Oh,
I did that.
No.
I did that for like 5 years, man. This was like, some years ago, but I did it 5 years straight.
I mean, so this is what I was told. Like, so my family, so they went down in the basement to like wash clothes and stuff, and then there was a door in the back. And when they were shown the house, they never told them, like, back there in the back is when they did the embalming and stuff like that. They had no clue. But that door was like it never been open. And I think he said one day they came downstairs, or his wife came downstairs to get the clothes out the dryer, washing clothes, whatever, and that door was open. And she didn't open it. So, but then she's, I believe in the afterlife, and I believe in you know what I'm saying, in angels and spirits and everything. So she said she's seen something, but it was evil. It wasn't something that was nice. So it started to come towards her in a way to act like it was going to harm her, and she ran up the stairs and yelled for my uncle, and they had to stay there a little while longer because you can't just move, right? You gotta. So they dealt with some stuff in that home before they was able to move.
Yeah, so some people probably would have been out it. I had a experience, but thankfully it wasn't nothing like that. But I remember one night I was at the funeral home, right? And I saw somebody walk past on the camera. And so my first thing, like, you know what? All my years I've been doing this. This might be the one day I get this job up. But then eventually I went back in the office and I found out one of my coworkers had forgot to put the camera back on the present mode. I'm like, okay. Because I literally woke up out of sleep. Like, what, did I just see what I thought I saw? But thankfully it wasn't that.
So you when you work at a funeral home at night, it's only one person?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Nope.
You said no, huh?
Nah, no, sir. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. By yourself? Nah. Mm-mm. There's no that is a horror movie by itself. If y'all want to laugh, it's me working night shift at a funeral home. Bro, there's no way I'll be trying to get out of there, dog. I don't not trying. I would be gone.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's not happening. If they Sinister, if they told you stay in this haunted funeral home for one night for $50,000, would you do it?
Nope, not 50, bro. No,
100,000.
I'm gonna start to think about it.
Well, guess what?
I would think about 100,000, but no, I ain't doing it for 50.
If they told me, if they said, Lito, we gonna give you 500,000 to stay in this funeral home.
That's $500,000.
To stay in this funeral home for and it's haunted, right? But you have to move around. You can't stay in one room. You got to move around. It's different rooms. You got to go in. Guess what? I would say, no, it's not happening. I don't care if it's 500,000. I might not make it. I mess around and have a heart attack. Some scare me, boy. I be in there swinging at the air and everything. The only way I'd be able to do something like that is if I can dress up as a Michael Myers or something. Because if something sees you and it don't know, you know what I'm saying? You never know. It might be like, oh, I'm not messing with him. But if he just see us in there, regular people, nah, it's not happening, bro. And the only way I would do, and I'll say this, if it's 500,000 and it's like 4 of us and we got to survive, I'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
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 Because we'd be good.
I'm just gonna
but
be
if it's
real.
just you by yourself,
I'm just gonna be real. If there's 4 of us, somebody might end up a sacrificial lamb because it's all about. I'm like Maya. It's all about me in a horror movie.
Hey, listen, I've seen way too many horror movies to not know what to do in a situation like that. You don't go in the basement. That's the first place you stay out of.
Yeah.
If you are in a funeral home, you kind of want to stay in the like the church area where the casket and stuff is. You want to stay in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
You
that's
don't
where the
wanna
holy
go-
water and crucifixes.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff in there that could protect you from evil in that room. So that's where I would be staying. Okay, and yeah, so I don't know how you do that, bro, or how you did it for 5 years.
Yeah, man. I did it 5 years straight, man. But eventually, I ended up, kind of going through like this thing where like I had developed like this vocal disorder. It was called spasmodic dysphonia. A lot of people don't know what that is. And I was working a lot. And so what ended up happening was I kind of took a step away from, doing the funeral service full time and kind of stepped away, kind of started traveling a little bit and then got myself together, went back to it. So like I just learned like in life, period, whatever you do, just create a balance for yourself, which that's why I like that you did the mental health check before you start out. I think that's a phenomenal thing, my brother.
For sure. Well, I run a black men's mental wellness group every Thursday night. So that's what we do. We check on each other and we talk about different topics, you know what I'm saying, and the whole nine. So yeah, that's mental health is very important.
It is.
People don't preach that, but I lost one of my best friends to suicide. So very important to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Checking on people because, there's a lot of people who just go through life without necessarily being honest about what's going on in between your ears.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah. And being in that business, you see a lot of that, unfortunately, even in like a lot of young people. And that's like you said, it's very important to check in with people and just see how they're doing, because it's the world is full of a lot of noise, and not everything is so kind and courteous, and so we have to just all protect each other.
Nah, that's facts. So I'm guessing the film, you being a mortician actually helped the filmmaking.
Yeah,
to some degree.
It does. You know why? Because to be honest with you, because all of it is storytelling, right? Like when you think about somebody's life, you're sitting through their funeral, right? Mm-hmm. And you're hearing people get up, talk about this person. It's as if you're kind of reliving the moments, It's like life has the beginning, the middle, and the end. And so I think like doing that kind of work, it actually sharpens you as a storyteller because you meet so many different people, and man, I'm telling you, man, I've met so many people, and like, being there really does really inspire you to just write, and just, find different people to tell their story. Like really, I'm moving more in the direction of doing documentaries. Like to your question about the pro wrestling, how I got into it was because I actually wanted to make a documentary about pro wrestling. Okay. And when I reached out to Steve Boz, we talked about me wrestling in high school. And so instead of him letting me make the documentary, he asked me when you're going to start training. So I'm like, look, we'll start next week. So me and my boy Jalen from high school, we just both started training, man. And we just kind of went for the ride.
That's crazy. So how long have you been training pro wrestling?
So I trained fully for 2 years. I'm still affiliated with the industry, but right now I've been focusing more on making a documentary, actually. Mm-hmm. So we're in the process of finishing it up. Like I think this month we're gonna film some more at the next show. But I love it, man. I'm thinking about once I kind of get some things taken care of, I definitely think I'm gonna probably get back into it a little more. More so as a hobby. But I love it, man. I met a lot of people, man. It's really cool, like just getting a chance to see the next group of, up and coming wrestlers and stuff. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know like it was really as big as it is in Chicago. Cause like, we was used to watching WWE, when I was a kid, WCW and TNA and stuff like that. But like right here in my own backyard, we have all these different promotions up here. And so like when Boz offered to train us, we just started meeting, different people, former WWE wrestlers, people in TNA, people in AEW. So man, it's a lot of up and coming talent, man. I love it.
Anybody you can, so former WWE wrestlers, anybody you can name?
Yeah, Carlito worked the show. We worked the show with him. Scotty Too Hottie Hornswoggle comes there quite a bit. Jacob Fatu came right before he went to WWE. Deanna Peraza, as I sent you some of the photos. Some of the people in AEW, like Sky Blue, she actually trained at CSW as well. So she was actually, helping train when I first got there. So, man, I met a lot of people,
That's dope. That's what's up, man. My mind keep going back to that Mortician stuff, bro. So have you've done funerals then?
Oh yeah, I've been in the business going on 16 years. I haven't always had a license for it, but I've been doing it about 16 years. And then, because I started in high school, I started my senior year, and then it took me some while to get through school. And it's like I said, it's crazy how my journey happened, because again, when I went to school to be a mortician, the school was very hard to the point where I almost moved to Arizona and just dropped out. But by the grace of God, I got through it. But then toward the end of it, like when we graduated, before you can even take the test, before you can even ship the national board, you have to pass another test. So I'm like, man, I got to take a test before the test. So it was taking a while for me to pass the test. So I'm like, you know what? If this don't work out, I better find something else to do. So I remember praying, talking to God about it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to film school. Crazy thing. Right when I went to film school, I passed the funeral director test. Then I still had the science portion left, which is the embalming and stuff. And so right after I graduated film school, had a dream that I passed science, went out there, took the science part and passed it. So everything kind of worked out like right when I went to film school.
Hold on, so you mean tell me you've done embalming?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Nah.
Yeah, when you're in school, you have to learn how to be great at it.
Oh man, that's ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. You hear me? I can't do. You have to be. You know how I say, like, you have to like be in love or love something, that type of job, in order to do it. Because there's no way.
Yeah, you definitely have to. And I feel like this, like I said, I wanted to do it ever since I was a child. So to me, whenever I work in that bit, it doesn't really feel like work to me. And even with filmmaking, even with wrestling, like to me, I've always been the type of person that's like, always like believe that if you do something that you enjoy, it's not saying that you won't have no bad days doing it, because even with things you love, sometimes you can get burned out and things of that nature. But if you love what you do, I think you'll have a lot of more, I think you'll have a lot of more joy with what you do, and you'll do it more with compassion,
So, because this is interesting. So, let's just say, right before you have to do something like this, I'm assuming it's just you there when this is happening. Like, you have no backup, nobody to call. Like, it's just you in that moment. Is there something that you do for yourself? Because me seeing someone that is not alive in that way, like the first time that you ever did it, what was your mind state in that moment?
Actually, it didn't bother me. Like, it was just, I went and I'm like, I think I would want to do this. And then and like I said, when I first started, I started out actually as a volunteer, and then eventually, kind of worked my way up a little bit. But like literally right now, what my job is now is that I work on the transfer team or removal team. So basically that's the person that whenever someone passes away, then I would be the person that, So I've been doing that for like,
and transport them to the
Yeah.
Man, God bless you, man. That's not an easy job, dog.
No.
Yeah, and that's, and what's crazy, like I remember when I used to go to wrestling to the practice and everything, some of the wrestlers would be like, well, why you coming in here smiling and stuff? I'm like, man, you know what? I know we're wrestling and I know, we doing this thing, but the truth is, you got to be alive to do it. So I'm always happy to be alive. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you got to have joy in whatever you do. Like, joy to me is always the most important thing. If the joy ain't there, then you got a problem.
That's facts.
I got a question. What kind of things do you study for to become a mortician? I know that you said there's the chemical part, which is the embalming, but what goes into what are you studying for to become a mortician? What's on that? What's in that class curriculum?
So basically, you have to learn psychology, pathology, sociology.
The psychology is for you.
Yeah, religion, law. You have to know chemistry. And it's so many different facets of that business because funeral directors wear many hats. A lot of times you're talking to a family, kind of like a counselor, you're dealing with the legalities of the business, the next of kin, that's legal. You're dealing with people with different religious beliefs. So need to know because I didn't
even think of that. You have to know your religion so you don't mess up and embarrass or disrespect somebody's religion. Because you got all these different people for different religions coming in, so you got to really make sure and know who's a Hindu, who's Jewish, who's this, because everybody's funerals are different depending on what their religion is, and you don't want to crap on their. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of all that. Oh man, that's tough.
So you have, and then sometimes you have to be the peacemaker because a lot of times, when you're dealing with insurance policies and families, leaving things behind and things, beneficiaries and all that stuff. Sometimes you have to be the referee, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you wear very many hats in that bit. And like I say, like to do that type of job, you really have to care about what you do. You really have to be passionate about it because like I said, because sometimes dealing with people in a time like that is not always easy. It's because sometimes families may take their anger out on you. It happens.
Mm-hmm. So being in, I hate to say this and bring this up, but being in Chicago, which is are you in one of them areas where the crime rate is high? You got to see a lot of young black men come through, or are you in a good area of Chicago?
Well, I love Chicago. But to be honest with you, the place that I worked at, we did see a lot of, young brothers and young sisters. And that always like really grieved me, and that's why I say like I have a really strong love for our communities because like I said, I hate seeing like our young brothers and young sisters like, losing their life to senselessness, and things that it's just, it's not worth people losing their life over, and it's sad. I hope as a people we do better, but I feel like when you see things like that, you can't help but have compassion,
Damn.
Puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah, man. I've seen lots of, like, I remember the first time, and this is crazy, like the first time that I was even, like, we were interviewed on the news one time and it wasn't for nothing good. Like it was for nothing good. And I've always said as a filmmaker, that always bothered me because a lot of times you see so many talented brothers and sisters out here who have all these positive skills, but the only time you hear their stories is what? In tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
And that narrative always bothered me. That's why as a filmmaker, like it kind of motivated me to want to move more in the realm of making documentaries, helping tell other people's stories while they're here, not just, telling somebody's story in death, but telling it in life,
Right. Damn. So basically giving someone their flowers while they are alive instead of,
Damn, that's deep.
I can dig that. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough, yeah. Wow. You gonna stay on and talk wrestling with us the rest of the next 30 minutes? Okay. Okay, cool. Man, that's crazy. Trying to pivot from from that to wrestling, but it's life.
But but it's always good to hit people with reality, but also show people that it is a better way. So it is a lot of positive things. Like on the flip side, for some of the young people who may want to train for wrestling, there are a lot of local promotions out here. That is worth giving it a shot if you're interested in doing it. So that's one thing that I would like to do, God willing, in the future is work with the youth and maybe train them to do amateur wrestling and pro wrestling. So that's one thing that I would hope to do in the future, God willing.
Okay, that's what's up. Let's get into some of these topics. JCW Juggalos Championship Wrestling, is that new?
No, it's been around. That's Violent J. That's ICP.
Oh, okay, yeah, ICP.
WCW. But the reason why they're in the news is because they brought on Vince Russo now, and they just had their major event this past weekend, and they've got an event coming up in Vegas during the same weekend as WrestleMania. I think ICP bringing Vince Russo in, they're familiar with him. People forget ICP was very successful in the WCW back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. They Insane Clown Posse kind of put celebrities on the map. They were one of the first real musicians and stuff to get into wrestling seriously. Before we saw Snoop Dogg and Bad Bunny and all these people, ICP was kind of doing it before them. So.
Nah, that's the fact.
Yeah. And they was wrestling. ICP was wrestling back then. They weren't just coming in and throwing somebody. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing what I Show Speed is doing. They was wrestling. So.
Just had to bring that man up. We're gonna talk about that too. For real. Let's jump right to WWE. WrestleMania 42 card has fully been announced. You want to talk about the card first, or you want to talk about Raw and SmackDown, NXT?
We can talk about the card. I think we're gonna do a full breakdown next week of WrestleMania, so we could just announce the card. That's we can go through that quick.
So the Saturday card is the undisputed WWE Championship match: Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, with Pat McAfee in his corner. The Women's World Championship match: Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. And last night when we were
she
watching,
got hurt for real,
bro. I heard. Didn't you hear the heads clash?
Yeah, WWE's getting a lot of fucking shit over it because they might have to go into concussion protocol, and if she has to go in, and she fails,
they both got hematomas on their foreheads.
Yeah, if Liv don't pass, she can't wrestle. That's gonna mess up all of WrestleMania for her.
They'll take care of her though. They're not gonna. So I think she'll pass, but
she's got 2 weeks. She's got 2 weeks. So
Stephanie, when she came, I don't think she realized how close their heads were.
Yeah, I don't.
And
then she bashed her off the TV to add insult to injury. So
yeah, look. Yeah, you got to work. I mean, it's wrestling, but you got to be as safe as possible because it's still a sport.
Yeah, fact. When me and my wife was watching it, right, and when I said I heard the clashing of their skulls together, I said, "Babe, she's hurt for real, both of them." She said, "Nah, I rewound. I went back." I said, "Listen to this. They were too close."
Yeah,
when they were talking,
she didn't realize they were that close. Yep.
She didn't realize that, and because she's coming from behind, she can't see how close Roxanne is.
Was, yeah.
Yeah, she can't see how close she is. So Roxanne had her hand up like this, talking, and the next thing you know, boom, forehead to forehead. Roxanne hit that ground, and she did not, she moved over to the side. That's how I knew she was hurt. Like, she didn't even try to get up at all. And then Liv gets thrown into the TV. I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah, look, man, it happens.
I feel like, so for me, why I'm angry at this, and in wrestling, we all know, what goes on in wrestling, but we've seen way too many injuries happen when they do these backstage promo shoots. If you guys remember, we saw Rhea Ripley get busted open and get her arm broke. Rhea Ripley was injured twice in two backstage. Yep, we saw her shoulder get dislocated. We saw Liv Morgan. That's what put her out the last time when Rhea came back.
Dislocated her own shoulder.
I feel like, do they not practice their spots for back behind the scenes stuff like they do in the ring and in the arena floor? I don't know. I feel like it happens way too much that it shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it. We've seen this so many times. Drew McIntyre got glass in his eye. That time with the windshield thing.
Yeah.
So when they did the windshield thing this time with Drew McIntyre, it looked phony as hell because the windshield, you could tell, was made to, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, but I just feel like these backstage promos, I think they need, whoever's job it is to produce those segments, they need to do a better job so this doesn't happen.
Yeah, I agree. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. We got the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match, Nia Jax / Legend versus Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra, and then versus the Bella Twins. Then we got two matches that are featured on the first hour of ESPN, which now they're kind of taking that. Remember, they did that before previously, and then they kind of stopped. But now you see AEW was doing that the hour before, so now they're doing this.
It's getting super viral.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like WWE, like come on. Like so now it's like, okay, you're gonna put the unsanctioned match there. Which
that was weird to me. That was weird to me.
You're gonna put
That's super weird.
What they're doing is not a lot of people that probably even. Well, I don't know. I was thinking if you put the sanctioned match there, it's gonna make you they're thinking that those two matches are gonna make you want to watch.
But
Saturday.
What we've talked about on this show before, we've said this before though. Sometimes with the WrestleManias and the SummerSlams, if that first match cooks out the gate, it sets the tone for the rest of the night and lets everybody know, yo, holy shit, they came with it. So if Jacob Fatu and Drew kill it and set the tone for the night, everybody else has to follow that tone.
Oh, I have no doubt that Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre are definitely gonna deliver. I think they're phenomenal, and I'm actually surprised that they like putting it on ESPN. Like I think I don't know. Like it's like, to me, I guess like you said, they're trying to give you that like appetizer or whatever.
I don't like it. I don't like it because if you look at the Saturday card, you got 3 women's matches, and then you got 2. You got Seth Rollins and Gunther, and then you got Cody and Randy for Saturday night. So that's like, but they got 3 women's matches on there, which is nothing wrong with that, right? But if you just threw one of those,
because the women have been cooking. The women have been cooking for the longest time.
They've been on point with their matches.
Yeah, that's true. We're just gonna have to see. So they got also the 6-man tag match: Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Astro Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight.
Can't wait to get my prediction on that one next week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you exactly what's about to happen, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
You gonna tell me?
We're not even going. I'm not even going to get into it because I already know. Like, and then so Sunday match card is the World Heavyweight Championship match, CM Punk and Roman. We also got the women's championship match, Jade Cargill and Rhea, and the return.
You called
of
it.
The Demon.
You called it.
I have been saying this. The Demon is back.
And he gonna get a WrestleMania Demon Fig, like you said was gonna come. You had already said it. You said it too. You said if the Demon comes back at WrestleMania, there's gonna be a fig.
He's gonna get a fig. He's gonna get an action figure. It's gonna be big as. When I seen that promo cut last night, I called you instantly. You didn't answer, but I called you twice. I was like, "Let me FaceTime, bro." I seen that promo last night, and then at the end, his eyes start getting darker around his eyes and stuff, like as if the makeup was coming on. I said, "Oh my gosh." I cannot wait for this match. We have not seen Demon Finn since in 6 years, maybe 5.
Might be longer.
Something like that.
Dominic is going to lose. Yeah, he's going to lose. United States Championship, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. I hope Trick Williams does not have what's the name coming out with him. What is his name, bro? That rapper.
21 Savage?
No.
Oh, no. He had the other rapper from Atlanta.
He's trash.
Well, it won't be Offset. Ooh, did I say that?
No, it won't be Offset.
Did I say that? Ouch.
What was his name, yo?
It's not 21 Savage.
No, he goes to the. He made a statement about people not liking the fact that he's being involved in some way, and rightly so. Me personally, bro. Like, of course, celebrities have been involved in wrestling, right, in WrestleManias, but certain celebrities, bro, just shouldn't get the call, and he's one of them. I show Speed as well. Like, I'm not a big fan of him either.
Little Yachty.
Little Yachty, yeah, he's trash, super trash. The young people like him. He's trash though. His music sucks. Nothing good about his music at all. Just being honest. And we got 2 matches featured in the first hour on ESPN. Oh, they putting Oba on ESPN, bro.
ESPN.
That's the match I'm waiting for,
bro.
How do you put him in the first hour
if
of
they
ESPN?
set the tone? If they set that tone for Sunday, then everybody's got to cook, bro. If they set the tone,
bro.
That's the match I'm excited for right there.
But it's not necessarily a WrestleMania match. If you think of, it's WrestleMania, but it's not WrestleMania. You feel me? Because within that first hour on ESPN, unless they're saying it's going to start on ESPN, and within that first hour they're going to fight, or are you saying that ESPN is going to have like the first hour, and then after that hour is up, they're going to come in and sing the the national anthem and everything, like they're starting the WrestleMania. Oba and Brock are too big for a first hour. Like, come on. I don't know about that, bro. They kind of fumbled that. I would have had them the first match of the main card. I wouldn't have had them doing this ESPN thing, bro. That's kind of trash. And then,
I'm interested in knowing y'all top 10 favorite list of wrestlers.
Oh yeah, I'll give it to you. And then Intercontinental Championship ladder match: Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, which I don't even know why he's in it.
Yeah, that's awkward.
And Rey Mysterio. Everybody else can do everything, and then he's just going to be like grounded because he's not high flying and jumping off of anything. I don't even understand that.
What if he does though? What if Rusev comes out there and shows his ass out?
Yeah, look.
Rusev do a moonsault? Yeah, that's not happening.
What if he does though? That shit would be viral as fuck.
If Rusev goes out there and does a moonsault, have Medic on standby. He's going to hurt himself. I'm just being honest. He's going to hurt himself. Medic, soon as he lands, somebody's going to do this. The ref's going to do this. Because that dude's he's not big. I mean, he's not small. He's a big guy. We've seen. You remember when Sid Vicious jumped off the top rope and tried to do a double axe handle and that leg broke? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Or when who's the other guy that did that? Abdullah the Butcher. Remember he jumped off the top?
I mean, we saw Bronson Reed do it twice.
Well, he didn't jump off the top rope though. I'm saying these guys broke their legs. Like literally, like they were trying to stand. You remember Abdullah the Butcher jumped off the top rope?
Yeah. I'm going back to Bronson Reed. I thought Bronson Reed was off the top rope when he broke his ankle.
The first one, he was off the top of the cage. He broke his ankle.
Yeah, like what was he thinking? Like, your
mean,
ankles can't.
It would have been a tsunami from hell because Roman wouldn't have got up. That's for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to break that down next week because I got a lot to say about those lineups and how they got this going on. We have to break that down. Top 10 wrestlers of all time for me. I don't know if let's see. I'll do 10 in no particular order for me. I got Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roman Reigns, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, that's 8. Jake the Snake Roberts, that's 9. 10 might have to be I'm looking on my wall. Oh, I have to put in one AEW person, Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
Yeah. Sinister.
Man.
I put The Rock in there? I said The Rock. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did. Man, I gotta get my.
I forgot one. Honorable mention is Taz from ECW.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my guy. I love Taz.
Okay, so I got Bret Hart on mine. No order. This is no order. Bret Hart. I got Ric Flair. I got Stone Cold. I got The Rock. I got Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
Undertaker.
Well, somebody's gonna get left off. For me,
I got the Undertaker in there. As much, I know a lot of people don't like to mention him because he committed a crime, but Superfly
Chris
Snooker.
Benoit. Oh,
no,
Jimmy.
Superfly Snooker is number 6.
He killed somebody, didn't he?
His wife.
Yeah. Nah, he didn't kill his wife.
Also, his ex-wife or something. I thought it was the same thing. Ex-wife or something. He killed somebody.
We're gonna have to fact check that. I'm gonna have to.
They
check
have a Dark Side of the Ring about it. So.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was his ex-wife, but I know he killed somebody.
Yeah, he killed somebody. I don't remember if it was his ex-wife though. But go ahead.
Number 6. Did I say Stone Cold? Yep. I said Bret Hart. I said Ric Flair. I gotta put. I'm torn, but I gotta say Hulk Hogan. As much as I don't,
I had to as well.
I gotta honor it. I mean, we all seen in Rocky 3 Thunder Lips, and this man just Terry Bollea. He's an asshole. He's a racist.
Terrible person. Terrible person.
But when you
Hulk
talk
Hogan was
about
a hero.
wrestling, you gotta. Number 8, Randy Savage.
Yep, Macho Man.
Randy Savage. Number 9, Roddy Piper.
I love Piper too, but if I had to pick between Piper and Jake the Snake's my guy, so I had to go with Jake.
See, I got to go back and forth, but Piper gives me the edge. I like Piper. Piper was a guy who could wrestle. And then if I had to pick my 10th guy, My 10th guy is gonna be this guy. He's coming way out of left field for me. People are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
Salute your tribal chief. Don't forget him.
It's not Roman Reigns. It's not gonna be Roman Reigns. And I gotta go here. This is somebody who every week I wanted to make sure I saw this person wrestle, and this person,
Mr. Perfect.
Nope. Dean Malenko.
Oh,
Okay.
I mess with that.
Dean Malenko was black trunks, black knee pads, but bro, every match this man put out, Dean Malenko was there. He had no gimmick at all, but he was one of my best technical wrestlers of all time, Dean Malenko.
I mess with that. I love Dan. That's why I said I had to put Taz in as honorable mention, because Taz was my guy. ECW, I didn't care about nobody else. Taz come out there, he suplex you, he suplex me. He go out in the crowd, he suplex that person. He didn't care. That's true. He didn't care. So,
if I had to have an honorable mention, it would have to be Sid Vicious.
The tribal chief, man. Salute to your tribe. You not acknowledging him, and he's gonna say something about it on Sunday. Let's go through these matches for NXT Stand and Deliver, which I did watch.
Woo!
What a pay-per-view that was. Well, it was on YouTube though. Lola Vice defeated JC Jane and Kendall Gray in a triple threat match, and she finally got her belt. I loved it. Lola Vice is a champion.
You know what the worst part of Stand and Deliver was on NXT though?
What?
Jada Parker in that bodysuit, bro.
Oh yeah, she's one of my favorites on NXT.
See, I'm weird.
Bro.
See, I'm weird. I like Zarya. I'm weird.
Zarya is like my alternate Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
So I'm there with you. I'm there with you on that one.
I don't like the
Jada
fact that
Parker
she lost.
had no business wearing that bodysuit. I'm like, yo, bro, why they tell her to put that on there, bro?
Don't like the fact that Zarya lost to Soruka. Don't like that.
I saw that coming. Soul is over,
like
bro.
She's over, but she should have lost. Let's just be honest. Based on the storyline, she took a L. How she treated Zarya. They should have had Zarya at least win that one. That wouldn't have done nothing to Soul's her being over still. That's just Zarya getting her get back. That's it. That's all that was, or would have been rather. NXT Women's North American Championship. Tatum Paxley defeated Blake Monroe, and then Tony D'Angelo defeated Joe Hendry. Say his name, and Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Man, Joe Hendry, that's the homie. I can't believe they let Tony D'Angelo win. I don't get that.
I know. Yeah,
whatever.
I thought Ricky Saints was still on it.
Or Joe, but not Tony D'Angelo. I know they was trying to take it away from Ethan, because I think they're gonna move Ethan up soon. But
yeah.
Raw Netflix results. CM Punk dropped a pipe bomb on Roman. Line of the night, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee.
I hate to say it, but CM Punk cooked a lot of people in that pipe bomb, bro.
This is what he does. I wasn't shocked by it, because he had to come back do something. Roman wasn't there either, so that was even better for him. If you understand everything that has happened, this is CM Punk's actual, if you think about it, his actual main event WrestleMania by himself as the champion.
Right.
This is what he's always wanted. And who better to help him sell that match than Roman? They're making this as big as they can possibly make it because Punk, this is what Punk has been trying since he's been in WWE. He's never main evented. Now he main evented with Roman and Seth, but he's never main evented as a champion, and also this match it means so much now. Everything that's been going on is big. So this is going to be a heck of a match. He's going to lose, but he still wins in this because of this is going to take him to another stratosphere. I heard that he's damn near ready to retire because he wants to teach wrestling. He wants to be one of them people in the down in the in Florida. Yeah. So he wants to kind of be one of those guys. He's not going to wrestle much longer. He wants to step away and because all of the young talents coming up, he wants to be part of helping. So
I like that. I think I want to give a shout out to all the pro wrestlers that's out here still teaching and just helping the next generation, go forward in their careers. I think that's a phenomenal thing. Like you gotta give Funaki a shout out too, because he does as well. Finley, Jamie Noble, these guys.
Jamie
are still
Noble,
around
okay. I didn't know Jamie Noble was still
around
doing
their thing.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys are still around doing that. Yeah, Jamie Noble, I believe he's still with WWE.
Okay.
I think doing like behind the scenes stuff, but it's
I know Finley is. Finley actually
but
has an action figure coming out next month, and we haven't seen a Finley action figure in. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
we've
Finley
only had one.
Yep. Finley actually was one of my favorite wrestlers coming up. So man, it's nice to see him still around.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Austin Theory defeated LA Knight. We just talked about Adam Pearce revealing that I Show Speed being WrestleMania match. Finn Balor versus JD McDonough. No match. Finn Balor got jumped, and that's what made that. He said, "Oh, that's what brought the demon back." I was so glad when they beat him up. I said, "Oh, yep." And then he cut that promo, and he said, "You're making me go back to someone that I didn't want to bring back, someone that you don't even know about." I said, "Uh-oh, we're getting the demon." I'm so excited. I'm probably going to have a Demon Finn Balor shirt that day for WrestleMania. I'm going to make it myself, unless WWE comes out with one. But I haven't seen one. I looked on WWE Shop, and there's no Demon Finn Balor one. I'm going to make it.
Well, they want that money. They're going to come. They're going to come.
They better hurry up if they want me to order. I need it before the fight. Like I need it. You know what I'm saying? So, Becky Lynch interrupted AJ Lee's interview with Michael Cole. So happy Bayley won. Finally, my wife was like, "Ain't that girl with the mental health that you like?" That's what my wife said. I said, "Yes, I do like Bayley, but you my wife, baby. Yes, she don't mean nothing to me." Seth Rollins vowed to stomp Gunther at WrestleMania. Let me say one thing, Keith. I'm just being honest. So Wade, I hate the sleeper hold. I'm just gonna say that. Okay? The days of the sleeper hold have been long gone, and Gunther has brought it back. Okay, cool. He put everybody to sleep with it, and it pisses me off because it's like, come on, y'all. The thing with John Cena, that John Cena thing messed it, ruined. Yeah, nah, John Cena did like this. That's what John Cena did. It pissed me off, but I believe that John Cena, since he's going to be there, he's going to get involved in this match somehow, since he's hosting. Something is telling me he's either going to come down to the ring, do something funny. or something, and Seth Rollins is gonna stomp him and beat him, which is what I'm hoping. But also remember, now, Paul Heyman owes Gunther a favor. All these favors. So, never know what it's going to be. Gunther or Penta, Javon Evans, and Dragon Lee defeated Los Americanos. Rey Mysterio decided he was going to be in. We love that. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated Mitchin and B-Fab. The ugly split is coming. What do you mean?
I've noticed something. They're playing up this friendship, this bestie thing between Rhea and Io. But I noticed some things. I noticed Rhea's music always comes on mad quick, cuts Io's music off mad quick. And this has been going on for a minute. And even though we're seeing Io talk to Kairi Sane and Asuka, and she's telling, I feel like it's the other way around, and I think it's coming. I think it's coming.
And after they cut that promo last night, why isn't Asuka versus Io in WrestleMania? They cut that promo.
Don't know.
That makes no sense. We might have to figure out what's going on with that. And then,
I mean, we still got one more week before WrestleMania, so we could.
So maybe they'll get added. Maybe. I mean, you cut that promo talking about
we still got
going to be her senpai.
We still got SmackDown Friday.
So they can add one or two more matches possibly.
They could add Monday Night Raw. I think is going to be a cakewalk. I don't think we're going to see. Much
we're not going to see nothing
Raw
crazy.
Monday night.
Because they don't want nobody to get hurt again, i.e. Liv Morgan.
Yeah, exactly.
With that hematoma on her forehead. Jade Cargill was whacking her with that kendo stick. And Rhea Ripley was forced to watch. And then Femi.
Can I ask why did Jade Cargill rip off Nicki Minaj's closet from Raw last night?
I asked my wife, I said, what is that thing she has on? Like, I don't know. What is it, a fox or a red? What is it? And she's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, oh. I definitely didn't know what it is. I'm like, what the hell? See, this is why I miss Bianca. Bianca would have had this shit in check. When Bianca comes back, she's not coming back to make friends. She's coming back to be a part of something. She's coming back to get the belt. That's why I believe that Jay's going to keep this belt. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that next week. Oba and Brock, boy.
That's the match I want to see.
They didn't get to sign nothing.
That's the match. That's the match I'm ready to see.
They didn't get to sign a damn thing. As soon as Oba got up there, it got cracking.
Well, he's been getting the better end of Brock lately.
Yeah, and Brock is feeling it too. I think because Brock said, as soon as he stepped through these ropes, I'm going after his ass. And he did. And then all those people was there, and then like that one guy, like they threw a chair, Oba threw that chair back, and somebody got hit. I said, "Oh."
Triple H went over and see if the dude was okay.
but shout out to even the wrestlers that's working security, man.
Yeah.
Like
my wife asked me, could I do that? I said, and between them two, no. Not in between them two.
I like to get them their flowers as well, though, because we have to think about like a lot of the wrestlers who maybe they're not in the spotlight, but they help put other people over. So when you be a part of it, like you kind of start to look at a lot of things a little bit differently,
Oh, I agree. Listen.
Why? Well, you got to give the flowers to the two from last week. Oba picked one dude up and had him in the air and spun him. And then the other poor dude, Brock picked him up.
Did the F5 and he did an F5 and dude bounced off the. I said, "Oh, Yo, man, like that, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. That's why I said not understanding why they're putting them on this first hour thing, because usually when they do the first hour thing, they come in with the main card, and Oba and Brock are definitely main card guys. So I don't like the way that, I don't know, maybe it's not worded correctly. Maybe they're just saying that they're going to show the first hour of the actual show on ESPN, and then everybody else has to tune in to ESPN Plus. I think that's what they're saying. I don't think that they're splitting up the matches. They're just splitting up. They're just offering some free for people, and then you guys get these 2 matches, and then the rest you gotta buy the pay-per-view or the app.
No, the
ESPN.
regular. It's on ESPN.
Plus.
It's on regular ESPN WrestleMania.
ESPN Plus.
Pay that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's saying regular ESPN. I thought. Hold on, I gotta check that because I think
because it says the 2 featured matches.
One match a year, and the featured matches are on ESPN2. Yeah, the 2's missing from that. The first hour matches are on ESPN2 both nights.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, and then after that, it flips to Plus. You got to pay for that.
Oh, I thought it was on just regular ESPN. I thought ESPN regular gets 1 match a year, which is the WrestleMania.
Because every year I've never seen it on. I mean,
well,
Peacock
this is the first year with the
thing ever.
contract.
Yeah, we have to look that up and find that out.
I'm looking it up right now, but I believe it's.
They messed up like losing Peacock. Peacock's the best thing that ever happened to WWE, to be honest with you. And if you're not gonna put it on Peacock, and you're gonna, why not just do the deal with Netflix? Period, and just have Netflix do. I mean, it makes more sense. I understand you got Netflix doing Raw, but in all actuality, you could have just put the whole thing on Netflix, all the PLEs and everything, instead of ESPN.
Yeah,
but that's
regular
all.
ESPN is WrestleMania.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's for everybody.
So no, so in that case, then there's gonna be no. We're gonna see how that works. See, they're trying this out.
So the opening matches, the 2 opening matches will be on ESPN.
ESPN2. Okay. And then you flick over to ESPN.
And then your first and second nights. So ESPN regular is going to make all the ratings for WrestleMania that it would get from having, you know what I'm saying? So they're paying all that stuff that people pay for is paying for that one night of WrestleMania. Well, the 2 nights.
Oh, so that's what the app was for. Everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're that's so.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that works. We shall see. We don't know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it do.
I'm still trying to figure out. We're at 10:37. I'm still trying to figure out why they had Stand and Deliver
on YouTube
on this week. They said it was because of the time. And that was why they didn't want it in Vegas. I don't know. It made no sense because what time did the Stand Deliver was it? It was in St. Louis.
It was on a Sunday.
Different. It was on Sunday. It was St. Louis. That's why. Okay. All right.
No, it was in Vegas.
Stand Deliver? Oh, I thought it was in St. Louis.
No, it was in Vegas.
Oh, okay. That's why. So the time. Okay.
So maybe that's. I don't know. Wade, man, we had a lot of fun with you tonight, man. Real quick, tell everybody how they can contact you, your social media, if anybody wants to get in contact with you for an interview, anything like that.
Sure, if you want to reach out to me, you just put Wade Simmons on Facebook. Feel free to reach out. If you want to catch me on Instagram, Wade Jedi99. You can catch me on Facebook and Instagram. But it's been an honor and a privilege, man. And like I said, I'm just so excited to see Brock and Oba get at it, man. I'm excited. That's like look, Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Those are 2 of my favorite wrestlers. So it's like it's a win-win for me.
I'm with you. Oba and Brock is the 2. I want to see them fight.
That's the match I want to see.
You can't miss those. There's no way. I mean, and that day, there's probably going to be a 20 for 20 or something going on.
Yeah, but Randy and Cody Rhodes, I feel like that is a very good storyline, just knowing their history too. So I'm excited for that one as well. But I'm all for seeing like the next generation of wrestlers pass the torch to the young generation. Like I'm always gonna be an advocate for that, you know.
Yep, 100%. And yeah, that's that's dope. So yeah, man. Well, I'm Lito for my man Sinista1. We want to thank you again, Mr. Wade Simmons. Sinister, what you got?
I got one last question before we get out of here for Wade.
Yep.
We've been talking on this show a lot about the WWE ID program and how we've seen this boom across the country of talent entering schools. You say you're training out of Chicago in a school there. Have you guys seen your census go up on how many people are now trying out for wrestling where you're at?
No, it's to me, I haven't seen the numbers go up. You know,
okay.
But I mean, honestly, there are a lot of new promotions out here, and like I said, there's a lot of up and coming talent. Like I've had the privilege of I was working on the Chicago PD television show. I ended up coming across another wrestler named Jay Bibbs. He's in another promotion, so I've been meeting a lot of people. Like, you know, it's like it's a lot of up and coming talent. You know.
Word.
A lot of outlets. Okay, so yeah, so there's more promotions. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Cool.
Word. Well, we love y'all. We tune in next week. We're gonna talk about WrestleMania. We're gonna break it down. And we out, y'all. Y'all be cool.
Are we gonna have our guys on next week?
Yes. Barry the Booking will be on with us for sure.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, take care, everybody.
And me in vantage points, so I can't abandon joints. Gotta grab the coins, pay me wickedly. Superman of thought, who am I? Haters mimic me, and they fans cheer him on with their capabilities. Wow. Double entendre, crazy lyrically. Had to read a page in Timothy to take it seriously. Cause I ain't scared, I ain't got no fear, baby, get with me. Open doors for the people, you can say it's chivalry. I drop bombs, it'll be a day in infamy. Mainly cause all my ops feeling painful instantly. Stay for sympathy, not me. Creating imagery that everybody you like I made a simile. Facts.
Then you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine like jet flying.